Why doesn't he say something? Shh.
In Texas, they lynch Negroes. My teammates and I saw a man strung up by his neck and set on fire. We drove through a lynch mob, pressed our faces against the floorboard. I looked at my teammates. I saw the fear in their eyes. And worse, the shame. What was this Negro's crime that he should be hung without trial in a dark forest filled with fog? Was he a thief? Was he a killer? Or just a Negro? Was he a sharecropper? A preacher? Were his children waiting up for him? And who are we to just lie there and do nothing? No matter what he did, the mob was the criminal. But the law did nothing. Just left us wondering, why? My opponent says, nothing that erodes the rule of law can be moral. But there is no rule of law in the Jim Crow South. Not when Negroes are denied housing, turned away from schools, hospitals, and not when we are lynched. St. Augustine said, an unjust law is no law at all. Which means I have a right, even a duty, to resist. With violence or civil disobedience. You should pray I choose the latter.
Anybody know who Willie Lynch was? Anybody? Raise your hand. He was a vicious slave owner in the West Indies. The slave masters in the colony of Virginia were having trouble controlling their slaves, so they sent for Mr. Lynch to teach them his methods. Keep the slave physically strong, but psychologically weak and dependent on the slave master. Keep the body, take the mind. I and every other professor on this campus are here to help you to find, take back, and keep your righteous mind.
White men who very seldom have any real relationships with anybody who's not white, particularly black men, right? Believe that black men are what we see in the movies. We believe black men are 50 Cent. 50 Cent is a man who controls people by fear. This is a man that we are all supposed to be afraid of. 50 Cent will come up in here and shoot all of us, take all the valuables in the house, take whatever money we have on us, credit cards, cell phones, all of that, right? This is how 50 Cent makes his living. Black gangster masculinity does the work of white supremacist patriarchal capitalism. All it requires in order for you to be promised that you'll get rich is that you're willing to verbally commit black on black murder, control black female bodies, all in the name of getting paid. The black gangster masculine figure employs the exact same logic as the people who started the slave trade.
I think 50 Cent represents a brand of black masculinity that dates back to the old post-slavery era. During the slavery era, you know, the stereotypes of black men were that we were happy-go-lucky, mostly lazy individuals who really needed the benign tutelage of the slave institution. After slavery, in order to justify the physical violence that would be required to prevent us from exercising our rights, that stereotype changed into the lawless, dangerous buck. That was the idea that was placed on black men. It's almost like a template that they shaded in and said, this is what black men will be
Mother, mother, there's too many of you crying. Brother, 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 there's far too many of you dying. You know we gotta find a way to bring some love in here today. Father, Father, we don't need to escalate. War is not the answer, 'cause only love conquers. You know we gotta find a way to bring some love in here today. Picket lines, picket signs, don't you punish me. Brutality, come to me. You can see what's going on. Hey, yeah.
The death of a black suspect. CNN's Drew Griffin reports.
Winfield, Louisiana is just a 45-minute drive from the small town of Gina, where nooses in a tree sparked racial outrage last year over black and white justice in a small Louisiana town. Now, Winfield could be a new racial flashpoint. Attorney Carol Powell-Lexing says police racism led to a murder.
You think there's a cover-up, or?
No doubt. No doubt. Nothing but a cover-up.
6 months ago, a 21-year-old black man named Baron Pikes, a cousin of one of the Gina Six, Michael Bell, died in police custody at the Winfield Police Department. How it happened has officially remained a secret until now. Coroner Ralph Williams has just released his findings. A white officer armed with a taser, he says, violated every Winfield police procedure on taser use, ultimately killing a black man in handcuffs.
What is a man down on the ground, handcuffed behind his back, getting repeatedly shot?
Well, it's a homicide.
Picket signs, don't you punish me. Brutality, yeah. Talk to me. You can see, yeah, what's going on. Hey, what's going on? I wanna know what's going
It's an amazing achievement. All of the students receiving their diplomas tonight from Chicago's Urban Prep Charter Academy for Men are going to college. All 107 seniors.
What you gonna do when you grow
up? Ravi is off tonight. Urban Prep opened 4 years ago in Inglewood. Its goal is to give young men from some of Chicago's toughest neighborhoods a chance to graduate not only high school, but to go on to graduate from top colleges. And
Meet the first graduates of Chicago's Urban Prep Academy. 4 years ago, 107 entered the school as freshmen. Tonight, 107 crossed the stage to receive their diplomas. And this fall, All 107 will be off to college. The school has a simple motto: we believe.
In those early days, I didn't believe because growing up in Inglewood, I hadn't seen many examples of success. It wasn't until I got to Urban Prep that I began to understand the true meaning of brotherhood.
Everybody who said that we couldn't do it, it just means that we did it. We finally accomplished it.
Northwestern, Morehouse, Howard University, Georgetown, and the University of Illinois. Those are just some of the schools that Urban Prep grads will attend this fall. They're doing so after earning more than $4 million worth of grants.
Don't think you'll reach your goal, young man.